So some of the things that we look at are social difficulties. Is this child able to negotiate with other kids out on the playground to determine what they want to play? Is he able to work in a group? And there's just a myriad of things that you could look at there. Communication difficulties. Is this child talking? Is his communication functional for him? Is he communicating through behaviors? Or does this child ask constant perseverative questions, for example? All kinds of ways that communication problems can be manifested in kids who have autism as well. Comprehension is hard for kids with autism. A lot of times we see that their speech, their verbal communication, their output is actually better than their comprehension, which is kind of backwards. But that happens a lot with kids with autism. So always assume that their comprehension is probably a little lower than you're guessing it is. Some of our kids have difficulty processing. It's hard for them to take information in. Maybe it takes them extra time for that information to be determined. And so we might need to give a child extra time, or they might just have other processing issues. Behavior problems are there mainly because of communication issues and because of sensory issues. They're not just behaviors often that just stand alone. Kids not just behaving to behave. There's usually a reason for that. And of course, that's a big part of what we do. What's the reason and how are we going to accommodate that? And we're going to talk about that later. I'll let you go on with the next if you'd like.
Cognitive issues, again, they can be high functioning and still need visual supports or some other kind of supports, schedule, social language difficulties, interventions and strategies. How are you going to set your person up to succeed in whatever environment that you're working with there, and what are some ways that we can support these individuals? Is it visual? Is it auditory? Does it need to be written down? How, do you need to physically show? There's a lot of different ways to support, but you want to find out the ones that work so that you set your individual up for success.